have a different type of learning in life. And I wondered, like, was someone upset that I kept a blog? Because you would have to be a writer to understand why that path was taken, because you actually do hustle for work. You can't always find work. And also, if you're someone who's experienced something in life that you want to work through or bring light to or help other people with, for instance, I wanted to do a nonfiction book for kids, talking about, you know, kids expect parents to be better than they are, and they usually aren't. Especially in a divorce, it's really hard to be perfect. And that can help other people out there who stumble across your experience, and then they can relate to it or not or what have you. But I wondered, was that the impetus for whatever started? I also had an op-ed published way back in 2004 or 2005. It was January of 2004, 2005, I forget now. And it was published in the Daily News here in Philadelphia. And it was, you know, a female responding to this incident many years ago when Trump took the crown away from Miss USA or Miss America. And it's called, the title of it was "Tear Us, Stick It to the Donald." Everybody was in an, you know, upheaval over this, particularly women who don't like to be publicly spanked on the national stage, if you will. I think Rosie O'Donnell even chimed in. It became a whole, you know, hot topic back then. Many people these days either forget or didn't even know this happened, but for the first time ever, a crown was taken away from the winner of Miss USA or Miss America. And it's because, I guess she broke a rule. Like, there's a whole bunch of rules when you accept this crown or participating in the pageant. And apparently she broke a rule. I'm wondering if she even knew that she broke a rule, because most people wouldn't break a rule, you know what I mean? Especially if there's a lot of money on the line. And she was visibly shaken and hurt, and I'm wondering how many people gained off of witnessing that. And it's like, she had to make a public apology to, okay, first of all, not that the pageant shouldn't be taken seriously, but are you kidding? Do you know how many feminists out there wanted to shoot somebody in the face? First of all, a bunch of women have to prance around in a two-piece on a stage to be judged to get money. Then we have someone who never had to prance around his entire life in a two-piece, taking the crown away. Not even like a talk like, the rules are this, technically this could disqualify you, we, you know, need to have a discussion or whatever. No, it became an all-out exploitation, highly embarrassing, very humiliating situation for this person. I'm assuming it's a real story and that it wasn't staged to set an example for the US public. And anyway, that caused quite a reaction for a lot of people, especially women, who were like, what? I want to know how many women were completely offended, unless you participated and wanted to win, and that's competition. But say you wanted to win, say you wanted to win that contest, and it's like, she broke the rules, but in general, women should stand up for other women. But I've found that a lot of women toe the line for their piggish men. So, but I'm just saying, I wound up as someone at a certain point in my writing career thinking, all right, I'll write an op-ed and see if it can actually get published. In fact, I had just like gone to a workshop about, you know, writing different types of things to see if you could get published, and op-ed was in the mix. Like, well, you know, it's not really a big writing piece. Anyone can write an op-ed. You don't have to be a writer. So I will do that. Sure enough, I get a call from Philly News. I was all excited. They're like, we want to publish this. Do you still want your bio? Like, do you want your name affiliated with it? I'm a writer trying to get money, trying to get paid. Hell yes, I want my name. I don't really care about sort of being known. That's not it. It is about getting paid, especially in the writing world, where you might have to hustle for money, or you're trying to like shimmy to a better position. It kind of stinks out there in writing. They're very low paying jobs. In writing, even in the news business. So it's like, how do you get to a better position in order to get better pay? Since this wound up the path that I was on. So anyway, it was published, and it did say in there something like, you know, I would like him to get judged, walk on a catwalk in a two-piece, make it a two-piece no less. Or like at the end, I'm like, and make it a two-piece. See how much money you make. See if you get voted in. You know what I mean? So anyway, that was published, and I wondered if maybe that could have contributed to activity that I began to experience. But that was so long ago that when my world got turned upside down in 2011, I can't imagine that that was it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that's the, although I did experience some weird things before 2011, you know, I just chalked it up to, you know, the city's weird, you know, I'm on a certain path, I'm trying to figure out how to go here or there. So anyway, but I wake up every day wondering who thought they could get away with what they began. I was set up for 2011, I know it. I was on a really weird path. I actually was sort of trapped in dog walking. Someone in the field of law said you could see it as being human trafficked because you could not figure out how to get out. Your brain paralysis, these people kept torturing you, clients and then some. And that puts someone in a certain position where they can't figure out how to move on or find another job, or it's hard enough to find another job as it is. It's really, you know, people are out there, they hate their jobs, you know, if they're lucky enough to have one. And, you know, in a way, there is abuse and human trafficking in general. But people do get paid and have benefits. I just got dog walking pay. There's no benefits affiliated with that. You would have to pay it on your own, and most dog walkers don't. They would lie, though, and just tell you that they had benefits. A lot of people I know who are in this, who wound up in this business or in this business, have partners or similar who they are on plans of in order to have benefits and so forth and so on. So anyway, a lot of people lie so as not to seem like they don't have what they're supposed to have in life. You know, we're dictated to that we're supposed to have this, that, and the other. So anyway, someone said it is sort of like human trafficking. You were terrorized in 2011 by something that's way whack. You were sort of kept, like a network of people kept you here, there, they kept you running all over the place. You didn't have dog walks just in one or two neighborhoods that are closely connected like a lot of other people do, with cushions under their backs. I was all over this city. Technically my life was in danger, not only from the harassment, but from riding my bike like a speed demon all over the city. And I wound up in 3 bike accidents. One was very serious. I wound up with stitches in my face and so forth and so on. These people put your life in danger, said this person who is more lawyer educated, and